Okay, so thank you all for joining us today for this event with the lovely Kristen. My name is Jessie and I am here representing SheJumps. I am a brand ambassador for the Western Washington aspect. SheJumps is a nonprofit focused on increasing the participation of females in the outdoors. We do this through a variety of different types of events, all the way from getting started, what do I need to do to go hiking? What do I need to know? What do I need to bring? All the way up to guided summit events. So we get you started and can take you all the way through in a really comfortable and welcoming and safe environment. We do a lot of fun things too, like events like this, an Alpine training event. We really have a wide variety of things that we offer. And yeah, today we can expect to get some education from Kristen on some maybe injury prevention techniques and get a good sweat in and get us ready for the winter season.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. My name is Kristen Vaughn, and I'm a physical therapist in Seattle at Union Physical Therapy Clinic, and also a co-founder of an online training platform called the Alpine Training Project that I started along with 2 other PTs a couple years ago. After we had a lot of our friends and family coming to us asking us, what should we be doing for our training before the ski season? So we started some in-person classes that people joined in on, and then wanted to have a platform to share that more widely. So we have at this point like a membership access program that people can join to do weekly workouts kind of leading up into the ski season, or to kind of boost up your performance over the course of the winter, and then some kind of maintenance and recovery things to do when you're kind of in the heat of ski season or doing what you want to do. So I will link that here later, and we'll have promo codes going out to everybody if you are interested in checking that out later. But I really am passionate about getting people on the slopes, keeping people on the slopes, just being able to be outside, using your body, doing the things you love, and super happy to be able to come join in with SheJumps. I'm just a huge fan of the mission and work that SheJumps does. I've had the privilege of doing some different events with SheJumps over the years. I'm based in Washington now, and we've done a bunch of the Girls Out events at Crystal Mountain that we've been able to kind of help host. And then I've helped coach some of the free ride camps with Kristen Norman over the last few years up here. So just a lot of great things going on. It's so fun to watch people feel empowered in the types of activities that they want to do or might feel a little intimidating. So I think that there's a lot of crossover in getting your body prepared for going out to the slopes and just feeling like you're strong and ready to go. So hopefully today could be a little starter on that. So I just want to spend just a couple minutes talking about some things that we're thinking about when we are kind of doing our training for preseason skiing, and some things to be incorporating to work on preventing injuries and staying healthy throughout the season. So that you hopefully don't end up in a PT clinic. But if you do, there's great options for recovery. Our bodies are amazing, resilient things as well. But whatever we can do to stay strong without needing that is awesome. So, so just dive in there and then we'll start working out. So a couple of big key muscle groups that we want to be thinking about. Well, I guess to back up, there's things that we think about with training of how do you move when you ski. So we want to make sure we have enough mobility in the joints that need to move. So we think about movement in the hips, and are you able to hinge your hips, move correctly without sacrificing motion elsewhere? And then ankles are a big one as well, needing to be able to have enough motion at your ankles to be in position in the ski boot and not be transferring your weight in ways just because your bones and joints don't allow you to move where you want to go. And then in terms of strength, we think about big muscle group that most people are going to think about right away is quads, and that is a huge one. So we want to make sure you have the power in the quads, that you have got the endurance so that you're making it all the way throughout the day without sacrificing. And then the quickness and firing of turning on when they need to turn on. And then to balance the quads, we need the hamstrings. Not as important for the skiing itself, but super important for keeping your knees stable, which helps with preventing injuries like ACL injuries. So we want to have we call it 3-2 balance on quads to hamstrings. And that helps to prevent some of the motion at the knee that can put a lot of stress on some ligaments like the ACL and help with preventing injuries there. So that's one that sometimes gets overlooked. And then there's a lot of stability that's needed for skiing. So core stability, outer hip stability, those are going to be things that help keep your legs tracking in the direction that they need to go so that you don't get funny twisting. That can also be a big stressor for ligaments. So in terms of injuries that we see, knees are one of the big ones that a lot of people think about with skiing. ACL tears, MCL tears with the ligament on the inside of the knee. Also just wear and tear on the knees and just sore, kind of achy knees at the end of the day. That might not be a big injury, but might be something that holds you back from going as hard as you want to go. So strengthening a lot of those stabilizing muscles, core and hips, can be really helpful for taking pressure off your knees. And then a couple other injuries that we see that aren't quite as common, but low back can definitely take some strain, especially early season when it hasn't been working as hard. And then for backcountry skiers, hip flexors can tend to be a big problem. So those are a couple of the things that we want to be kind of thinking about, including when we're doing our training, making sure we're getting strong enough in those groups, making sure we have the movement that we need, and then making sure that we are able to use that movement efficiently, control the movement well, and so that'll transfer, because you're not going to be thinking about these things when you're out there enjoying the skiing. So you want to kind of do the prep work ahead of time so that your body has the tools that it needs and kind of knows where it wants to go, and that muscle memory kicks in. So yeah, with that, we'll jump into our workout. We're going to go through a little bit of warm up, and then we've got a circuit of, I think it's 10 or 11 exercises that we'll do. They're about a minute or so each, and then with a little break in between, we'll cycle through that twice and then do a little cool down and some stretching. And if anybody has questions along the way, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll try to kind of check in on that every once in a while. Or if you want to stick on afterwards, I'm happy to stick around and chat for a minute if you have particular personal injury questions that you'd like some kind of pointing in the right direction, or other questions that come up along the way related to training and skiing. So with that, we will jump right in, and shouldn't need any equipment for this workout, just a space where you can get down on the floor, and then a space where you can jump a little bit. And I'm wearing shoes. You don't have to wear shoes, but when you get to the stage when we're doing more stuff on our feet and jumping, that may feel more comfortable. So your choice on that, but probably recommend shoes if you have them. So I'll go ahead and jump in. Let me get my timer going here. All right, so we're gonna start standing. This up just a little bit. All right, so just start with a little standing march. Get the hips warming up a little bit here. Not sure where everybody's been at for the day so far, but my day's been getting a lot of adulting tasks done, and so I've been sitting a little bit, so we'll get things moving. All right, and then let's do a little butt kicker. Bring the heel up towards your rear. Front of the quads stretching out a little bit. We'll do a little circle with the hips. Circle out, circle in. Good. And then we'll do a little hamstring extensions. Bring your knee up, kick your foot out. Knee up, foot out. Go back and forth on these a few times. Make sure to keep your back up nice and tall here. Watch that you don't get scooping under. If that means you need to keep your leg a little lower, that's fine. All right, I'm gonna get into a few squat movements. Couple things you want to think about with squats. The width of the squat can vary depending on what feels comfortable for your hips. But wherever your toes are pointed, you want your knees to be going out right over the middle of your foot. You want to let your hips come back a little bit as your knees go forward. So you're not staying too upright where your knees really go forward and not going too far into the bow. Get that kind of halfway in between. All right, we'll do a side lunge here. Going a few to one side. And we'll do a few to the other side. All right, and then we're gonna do a few up on your toes and back down. Get the ankles and calves warmed up since we'll be doing a little bit of jumping. All right, let's go ahead and take it into a little jump. Just a few little pogo hops up and down. Let's take a little jumping jacks. All right, a few high knees, a little runner. And some butt kickers. All right, we'll go up and out for those hamstrings. And let's just do a couple of bigger jumps, vertical jumps, squat, jump up and land. Do a couple of those. We want to land really soft with any landing we're doing. So you shouldn't hear yourself on the ground. 2 more of those. All right. Should feel like your heart rate's up a little bit now. Feel a little bit of blood flow going. We're gonna jump into our series. So the first exercise we're gonna do is going down into a squat and pulsing. We'll start just in a regular squat, like so. And then we're gonna add in a few where we put a leg out to the side while we're doing that squat. So go ahead and jump in with me. We'll go down, 2, 3, 4, 5, and come on out. Down, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now one more straight like this. All right, and we're gonna stay down now. 1, 2, 3, stay down. Put the right foot out. 5 more. Back to center for 5. And left leg out. Back to center. Stay down here if you can. If you're feeling good, you can always go a little deeper. Listen to your body. If you need to back out a little bit, it's totally fine. We're just getting going here. 1 more. Back to center. And left side. And center. Nice job. All right, next exercise is going to be an exercise for the hips. You're going to find something that you can put your foot against. Behind you, a wall, piece of furniture. We're going to go into a little bit of a hip hinge. So hips will go back. And then your knee is going to open to the outside, like a little clamshell. So go ahead and get into the position on the first side. Foot braced in the back, open, and we'll hold for 5. And back down. We'll do 5-second holds. You might feel it more on the standing leg than the lifting leg. That's okay too. Both sides are working your hip stabilizing muscles. Good job. These are some of those important muscles that help to keep our knees tracking straight when we're skiing. One of the big ways that ACL tears can happen, we're gonna go ahead and switch. And your other side, hinge into your hips, kind of bow your chest forward, and then open the knee up. But yeah, one of the major mechanisms for ACL tears is the knee diving to the inside and twisting. It puts a lot of stress on the ACL. So when we're working these muscles that rotate open, it's a force that counteracts that diving in of the knee and can really help with staying out of injury territory. Good job. Last one here. And come on down. We're gonna get down now onto the floor into a plank position. So you can go from either hands or forearms, whichever you prefer. I'm gonna go from forearms, and then you're gonna tap one knee and up, other knee and up. If that feels pretty easy, you can lift a leg up. Lift a leg up. The big thing we want to watch out for here is that you're staying nice and level across your back and pelvis and not rocking side to side as the lift happens. So go ahead and let's start. So start out with a knee tap here. Let one knee tap down, the other knee taps down. Check in on your form. If there was a glass of water balancing on your tailbone, it should stay nice and full. If that's feeling good, try the lift. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds on each lift. This challenges, obviously core muscles are working in a plank. And when you take a limb away, It's going to challenge more of the muscles that support the rotational forces in your trunk. So you're turning when your hips and trunk are facing opposite directions. Those are going to be working there. You're getting tired at the end and losing form. Come down to your knees and just hold static plank for the rest of the last 5 seconds or so here. All right, very good. All right, next exercise, we're going to turn on to the back. We're going to be doing a hamstring heel bridge. And then, so you're going to be starting on your back, knees bent, bring your toes up. You're going to be lifting your hips. So you're in a nice straight line, and then dig in with your heels and pull yourself towards your feet. You'll hold that for about 5 seconds, and then stay up in the bridge, but relax back off. All right, go ahead and join me here. So lift up, core is strong, glutes are squeezing, and then pull with your heels so your butt comes a little bit closer and towards your feet. Back to neutral, and pull towards your feet. You should feel this really fire up in the hamstrings on the back part of your legs. Good job. You feeling that burn? Because I am. And as I mentioned, this is another big ACL protector. This muscle helps more with when your knee wants to go forward. Like if you hit a chunk of snow where your ski is stopping and your body momentum is carrying forward, which we know something about with Cascade Concrete up here in the Northwest. This is a muscle that really helps to protect your knee from hyperextending or from translating in a kind of improper way. Last one here, pull to your heels, pull, 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 and come on down. One more on the floor here, we're gonna do a side plank. For this side plank, oh, sorry, I'm black on black. That's a little hard to see, but we're gonna do it from the knees. So if you're out in a straight line, tuck your feet back behind you, and then we're gonna lift the hip up. So you wanna really pull that hip up from the ground. And then if that feels good, you can go ahead and straighten your top leg. So go ahead and join me here. So straight line, feet tucked back, and we're up. Lift that top leg, we'll hold for 5. Let the top leg come down, drop your hip just an inch or 2, and we'll go right back up. Lift that top leg. Leg down, hip drops, and we'll go. So this is really working on the obliques, the side body, as well as the hip on that lower side, but it's supporting us. And then hip on the upper side that's lifting. So lots of good things working here. Here we go. One more. And we'll switch, other side. Hip up, leg out, and hold. Drop down, hip up, leg up, and down. Good, 2 more. And last one. All right, good job. We're gonna come back up to standing. If you need to grab a quick drink of water, lose a layer, that's what I'm gonna do. And then this next exercise, we're gonna do hands in front, you're gonna lunge out and then twist your body away from the front leg, back to center and come back up. Twist out, twist. So as you're twisting, I want you to really pay attention to where your knee is tracking. Sometimes the knee wants to dip in, but you want to get that differentiation of trunk and lower body here. All right, go ahead and join me here. Lunge forward and bring it back in. Twist away from the front leg. You can adjust the depth of your squat here. Make sure you keep your knees happy. But getting this differentiation of upper body, lower body. Oh, it's dark enough for my legs to come on. All right. This differentiation of upper body, lower body is really key in skiing, where you may be facing downhill and your body's moving underneath you. just as applicable in snowboarding as well. I'm more of a skier, can't speak to snowboarding form very well, but definitely, you know, you're moving your body underneath where your trunk is going for either skiing or snowboarding. So teaching your body how to do that effectively is super important. One more on each side here. All right, great. We're gonna get a little bit more plyometric here, bouncy. So this one you're gonna start down in a lunge. You're gonna do little jump, medium jump, big jump. Each time land really softly so that you're not smashing the floor. That's called eccentric control, or that controlling the negatives, which is a huge part of what we do in skiing, controlling ourselves going down the slope. So come on into your squat and let's go. We got low, medium, high. Low, medium, high. If it doesn't feel good to jump for your joints, just go up to your toes, medium, and don't leave the ground. Low, medium, high. We're going for a minute here. Getting that heart rate up a little bit. Getting off of my count, sorry. Low, medium, high. One more, low, medium, high. I lied, one more. And finish it off, good job. All right, great work here. Next one we're gonna do is more bouncy. Let your heart rate recover a little bit. So you're gonna stand on one foot. If you need to touch a wall or piece of furniture, that's okay. If you're feeling good, then challenge yourself to go without. You're gonna lean forward, hinging at your hips until your body's at about 40 to 60 degrees from the floor. Open a little bit to the outside, close it back down, and come back up. All right. The timer just timed out, but we can go ahead and get started with that. So let's start with the right leg. So we're gonna hinge forward. Open up, close it down, and back to vertical. If you need a little extra assistance, you can keep a toe touching and back as well for a little stability. If you're a backcountry skier, this motion may feel familiar, like you're doing a kick turn on kind of a steep skin track. Let's get two more here. And rest it. Very nice. The next thing we're gonna do is a split squat jump. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Start down in a little lunge and jog to the other foot. You can make these a little different. You can either go faster for cardio or a little more high and powerful to work on more power. So you choose whichever one you wanna work on more today. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and here we go. Landing should be soft with these as well. Really focus on getting that little squish as you come back down. Have your muscles absorb rather than your joints and ligaments. Good job, you're halfway through. Knees should be tracking straight ahead. So if you can see yourself in your video, that's really helpful here to make sure that you don't have things dipping in or wobbling as you're going through your jumps. Almost there. And take a rest. Nice job. Starting to feel it in those quads a little bit. Next thing we're gonna do is the airplane on the other side. Take a break for a second. We've got about a 20-second rest. And then we'll get set, excuse me, on the left side. Doing forward hinge, open up, And back down. All right, go ahead and join in. So, hinge. The motion here for the twist comes from the hip, the standing leg, driving it rather than twisting your spine. So making sure that we have good hip mobility helps to take a bit of pressure off of the low back. And we're also working on all the little stabilizing muscles for our balance. Find a point to look at that helps you balance. If you're feeling like a rock star here and want more of a challenge, you can try doing the eyes closed, but that's super tricky. Or stand on your yoga mat, fold it up a couple times. Last one here. All right. And then we're gonna do a little compass jump. If you imagine yourself standing in the middle of a compass, we're gonna jump to north and back to center. Northwest, back to center, all the way to each point on the compass. So working a little bit more on like springy feet, nice plyometric rebound. So start from here, going forward, diagonal, side, diagonal back. And if it's not perfect, don't worry about it. Just keep jumping around in different directions. We got 1 minute of this. So this little recoil, landing and reloading and jumping really helps to strengthen the tendons in our lower limbs. Builds up the toughness of all of the little collagen and elastin fibers. It makes those really bomb-proof. More seconds. All right, good work. That's the end of round 1. So we'll take a 2-minute break here, grab some water if you need it, rearrange anything if you need it, and then we'll meet back here in a minute and a half or so and get everything kind of going again for round 2. So 1 more round through what we just did, and then that's it for today. So good job, way to make it through that. If you had trouble with any other knee modifications, I'll pop on the chat here for a second if you have any specific questions on that. So good job, everybody. Okay, we had a question about if you can do the compass without jumping. Yeah, if your body doesn't feel great with impact landing right now, what I would do is just do 1 leg at a time, pointing to the points on the compass, going around. You can even do the ones that are kind of behind, and then switch legs, and you'll still get a lot of that kind of up and down motion. It's not quite as much load on the tendons, but definitely still super beneficial and working a lot on the control. So, good question. All right, so come on back to your mat. And we're gonna get going again. So we're gonna start back with the squat pulses. We're just gonna go straight into the 5 pulse. Five, come on out, and then stay down on this one. We'll flag the right foot out. 5 pulses here. Back to center, 5 pulses. Left foot out. So most of your weight's on 1 foot. If you're feeling good, drop it down a little bit, get that seat a little lower. Things are still needing a little recovery. Go in a little shorter range. Got about 10 more seconds here. Drop it down. So we want to push into that place where we feel challenged, but that it still feels like good challenge for our body, like working hard, not into the strain, pain. Not sure I should be doing that zone. So listen to that as we go through. If you're feeling good, push in a little bit. If your body's saying, oh, I'm not sure about that, in a warning kind of way, dial back. Last thing we want is to hurt yourself while you're trying to work on injury prevention. All right, we're doing standing clams. So brace your foot back against a wall or chair, bow into your hips, and then we're opening up. Hold for about 5. All right. So while you're getting into these exercises where things start to fatigue a little bit, remember that you're working towards making yourself strong for the end of the day. I'm gonna switch legs. Bow into your hips and then open the knee. So some injuries happen, just nothing you could do to avoid it. It's just physics, the torque of the snow, the way your body's moving. Just physics is gonna win sometimes. But there are some things that we can do to help prevent and lower the chances there. And a lot of the injuries happen at the end of the day, which tells us when muscles are fatigued, you're not firing as quickly, not responding as much. That's a time that puts more wear and tear on ligaments. So you build up your endurance here in your muscles. That's really gonna help you out in decreasing those chances for end of the day injuries. Last one, good. We're down to the floor doing planks. We're gonna do either the knee taps or leg lifts with these. So, forearms or feet. You got 3 seconds and join your way here with me. We're doing knee tap or leg lift. All right, here we go. You want to keep your hips nice and level. Balance that glass of water. Good job, we're halfway there. Push it here to the end, checking on your deep core muscles. Draw it in from your belly button, pull your belly button towards your spine. You need to go down to the caps or down to your knees. Do it to keep good form. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Take it back onto your back here. We'll do hamstring bridges. So toes are up. You can play around with how far out you take your legs here. The further out you go, the more challenge it is for your hamstrings. So here we go, lift your hips up, do a nice straight line, and then pull yourself to your feet. Engage those muscles in the back of your leg. And back to bridge. Pull to your feet, and relax to neutral. We're going for a minute here. Good job, feel that burn. If you're not feeling a burn yet, pull harder and hold it with the pull down towards your feet. Or you can try putting more weight into one leg to challenge one leg at a time. Good job, last one. And rest, come on down. You're gonna make your way over to your side. Line yourself up in a straight line. Bend your bottom knee. You can go up into your plank. Straighten out that top leg and lift up from there. So it should be like a straight plane all the way down along your body and leg. Go ahead and join me here. So lift hip up, leg up, and hold it. All these lateral side body muscles working nice and strong here. Good job. These side muscles are also great if you're doing backcountry touring. These muscles really stabilize you as you're taking a step up while you've got a pack on your back. And switch sides. We're going straight into it, hip up, leg up, and hold it there. Hip up, leg up. Good. Nice work, everybody. Got 5 more seconds. Last one. And rest. Nice job. We're coming up to standing. Grab a quick drink if you need. And then we're doing lunges. Okay. This time we're gonna lunge back. So start a little further forward. You're gonna take the back foot back, twist, and come back up to the front. So similar motion, just switching up their direction. Go ahead and join me. We're going back lunge, twist away from the front leg, to center and up. Keep that knee tracking nice and straight to the front, even as your body moves. If this feels easy, you can try standing with your front foot on your yoga mat, rolled up a couple times so you have a little wobbly surface, or going a little deeper down into your lunge. If this feels hard, just keep it a little shallower and don't twist your trunk so much. So we're all starting from different places, have different goals. So knowing your body and what you want to get from it, make the workouts work for you. Don't feel pressured to have to do exactly what you're being told if that doesn't work for you. We'll go one more on each side. And take a break. All right, we're heading into our low, medium, high jumps here. So remember, soft landings is the key. And then keeping your knees tracking straight ahead, watching out for wobbles as you take off or land is also the big key. So you'll start low, go low, low, and high with your jump. And there we go. All right, here we go. Low, low, bigger, soft landing. Good job, 20 seconds left. Think about landing, or that jump or cliff landing, softening it. That may or may not be a goal for you, but this is gonna have your quads strong either way. Last one. Good work, all right. And then we'll head into the airplanes. So catch your breath for a second. We're gonna start with the right leg. Do this one facing you so you can kind of see those angles. So one foot, hinging forward at the hips, opening up, back to center, and up to vertical. All right, here we go. Right side. Think about lifting tall so you're not sinking on your hip as you do this. Stretch through the crown of your head. Good, couple more. Maybe feel your foot working a lot here to help you keep your balance. Lower leg. And those are great muscles to be working on. You can go into rest to help with edging the ski, keeping your foot centered as you're moving, distributing your weight from side to side as you're carving, turning. We're gonna head into our split squats here. One foot forward, one foot back. We're gonna go You can get lower or keep it a little shallower based on what's good for you. So if you're going low impact, just do a little quick swap with your feet as you go. Here we are. Good job, you're halfway. Dig deep for that end of the day. It's snowing all day, free refills, you wanna go get them? And last 3, 2, 1, take a break. Good work. Rest it for a second, and then we're gonna go onto that left leg, doing our airplanes from there. All right. So left foot balance, find your point to focus on. We're going forward hinge, open it up. You can challenge yourself to not put your foot down in between. That's a little extra balance challenge. See how it feels left to right? Are they fairly similar? Do you have one side that has to work a little harder? And does it feel different round 1 versus round 2? When things are a little more tired? Just learning about your body. Last one. All right, good. We've got compass jumps. So find the center of your compass. If you went 1 to clockwise last time, try going counterclockwise this time. Just switch it up a little bit. And here we go. Doing 1 minute here. Feeling that bounce. Good work, you guys. We're almost there. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and stop. And before you think we're done, we're gonna do one last exercise as a little bonus here. I always like to end these workouts on a squat hold and really burn those quads out. So if you've got a little juice left in the tank, join me for this last one. We're going for a 90-second squat hold. You can do it in the air, or if you want, you can go back against a wall, but don't lean against the wall, just put your butt back to the wall and lightly touch it. So we're just gonna go in the air here. Get down into your squat. We got 90 seconds. So start to gauge yourself kind of where you're at here fatigue-wise. If you feel good, drop it down a little more. Make sure your knees are tracking nice and straight ahead. Drop it down a little more. Good job. Keep your chest up. You're a ski racer. You're probably feeling pretty good with this. You can drop it down even a little further. Try doing some little pulses. Go down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch. Shift to the left a little. Shift to the right a little. Back to center. We got 30 seconds left. Drop it down. Hold it there. A little to the right. A little to the left. See the gates in front of you if you've got that visual. Up an inch, down an inch more, up an inch, Down an inch, hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, that's the end for real. Very nice job. Grab a drink. We're gonna stretch just a little bit. Great work, everybody. That is awesome job. We hit quads, we hit hamstrings, we hit core, we hit hip stabilizers. We got you moving double leg, single leg. Lots of really good stuff in there. So depending on where you're coming from in your fitness background, may have felt hard, may have felt easy, but hopefully you're able to get something out of that that felt valuable and useful for you to take forward into the season. So let's start on one knee. Just gonna tuck your hips in a little bit, push your hips forward. Get a little stretch to the front of your hips. Here, even stretch an arm over a little bit. Good job, switch sides. One knee back, one knee forward. Scoop the tailbone under. Really feel that little stretch in the front of your hips. And stretch over here. All right, come on down to your seat. We're gonna go one foot over in front, one ankle over the other. Keep your back up nice and tall, kind of pull your belly button towards that triangle between your legs. Should be able to stretch down kind of in your glute on that leg that's crossed over. And switch sides, cross over. Use your hands to help you be up really tall. Drop that knee out to the outside. Good. I'm gonna come on back to your back. And then draw your knee across your body, so it kind of crosses midline. And then reach down and pull your foot in just a little closer. This should get just a little deeper down in some of those hip and glute muscles. I like to leave these longer stretches for the end of workouts or end of the day. Do more of a dynamic warm up like we did at the beginning for pre-workout. Switch legs. Those dynamic warm-ups like we did at the beginning of the workout are actually really great for before you get going on the slopes on a ski day as well. It can feel a little goofy, but when you get out of your car and you're getting ready, putting your boots on and everything, just get your joints moving a little bit, especially if you've had a long car ride to get up there. Can go a long ways. All right, you're gonna hold behind one leg, kick your foot up towards the ceiling, feel a little stretch back to your hamstrings. Maybe bump your ankle up and down. And do a few ankle circles. And switch sides. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a couple of other things that can make a difference with injury prevention. One of those is gear. Making sure that your bindings are dialed in for the appropriate weight and skiing type that you're going to be doing. It's most helpful to take it into a shop where they can use a torque wrench and actually see, because different bindings and boot combinations perform slightly differently with each other. But make sure your bindings are going to release when they should release. Don't have them overly tightened down, just tighten to where you need them to keep your ski on for the terrain that you're in. Okay, you're going to turn to your side, bring your bottom knee up, grab your top foot and pull it back. So bindings and boots. Another thing to be aware of is head injuries are a real thing in skiers. A lot of places, helmets are becoming more popular. And I'm definitely a huge advocate for helmets and protecting your head. We'll go ahead and switch other side. You know, sometimes it can get to be, sometimes if you're having an easier day or heading out in the backcountry where you're gonna be skiing mellower terrain on a low angle kind of day, questions come up about, oh, do I really need my helmet today? But considering that you might be hit by somebody else or how hard trees are and rocks, if you happen to land on those, just your head is worth it. So giving a plug for that. So checking on your gear, and if you're heading out in the backcountry, of course, Being prepared with good avalanche safety, super crucial. And come up to standing and just get your calves here. So one leg back, stretch into that back calf. So get your body ready, get your gear ready, get your knowledge in tune. And even though we're into the season now, we still got a lot of good season left ahead of us. So if there's any of those pieces that need a little tuning up, now's a great time to do it. So good job for being here today. And yeah, just keep putting in the good work for the rest of the season. So thanks so much for joining. It's been really fun to get to work out with you. I will drop the Alpine Training Project link here in the chat, and there will be a discount code coming out in an email here in the next couple of days if you're interested in checking out some of the programs to keep training with us through the rest of the season. It's all online videos that you can access anytime. So thanks so much and have a great ski season.